Okay, people, welcome back to this next tutorial, and this next tutorial is going to show you how we can create detailed drawings of the parts of this coupling assembly. So the first thing you'll need to do is to open up your coupling assembly, which might look a little bit like mine, and then I'm just going to show you the solution so we know what we're trying to do. And here is our solution here pasted. Probably have a look at this before we get started. You'll notice that I've got the three parts all on the one page. I've chosen to do that because they're all fairly simple parts. And you'll notice that each part has two views to represent its dimensions and sizes. We've got the coupling here, which actually should say two of. Interesting, it says one. And it's also got a top view and a sectional front view. The retaining clip is here. It has a top view and also a sectional front view. And the pin, which there are two of, we've got a top view and a projected front view with enough dimensions on each of the views so that someone could pick this up and make it. And some other information about their names and any features that are unfamiliar. All right, so let's get stuck into Fusion and how we go about creating this detailed drawing of these parts. So you've got your assembly open. If you come up to the tab File, New Drawing from Design. Of course, it is a new drawing. Make sure you choose your KCC drawing template. We've been through that before. And then click on OK. Once you've clicked on OK, you should be then prompted with a blank screen, and it's then prompting you to put the first view in. Now at this point it's an assembly view, but we'll be able to remove that down to one part in a second. So the process is something like this. You kind of got a big screen and you know, right, well I've got to fit a top view up here, a retaining clip, a coupling up here, a retaining clip down here, and a pin over there. So if I'm looking at the size or the scale of this view, it looks a little bit too small. So what I might do before I place it is just change the scale to 1:1, realizing of course that I'm only going to be projecting one of these views. So I'm just going to put that there for starters to hopefully locate the coupling. So click that there, come up to your style, visible and hidden edges should be turned on, being a detail drawing. And any threaded edges should also be turned on, and then click OK. You'll notice that it puts the view in, and it also gives you the over here a summary of which parts are actually visible. So what we want to do is reduce this down so that we can just see one of the couplings, which will then project a top view from. So I'm going to turn off the retaining clip by clicking on the light bulb, turning it off there. I don't want either of the pins, and I don't want the top coupling either. All I'm left now with is this one coupling. If you don't want that hanging around, you can just minimize it by doing that. So we've got our coupling there. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. And then once you've brought this coupling in, there's the front view of it. So that's what we're seeing on its edge. Select it, come up to project, and it doesn't wig out, there we go, and project the view above it like so. Once you've projected one view, click on the escape key, and that takes you out of that, which is fantastic. All right, so that's the first part brought in, the coupling of a top view and a front view. We're going to do a similar process now to bring in the retaining clip and also the pin. So once again, click on, oh, well, actually not once again, to bring a view in, you click on the far left icon here called base view. I might just minimize this so we get some more real estate. So we click on base view, click here, make sure the scale's the same. So if you've made this previous view 1:1, then any other views must also be 1:1. Place it, make sure it's on visible and hidden edges, click OK. And then once again, we need to turn off objects here. So expand that sheet setting. This is the second one. You can see as I highlight that, it highlights that one. So we turn off the coupling, turn off both pins, and the last thing you're left with is then the retaining clip. Once you've got the retaining clip, select it, project, and we project a top view above it, and then hit escape like so. Now they aren't exactly in the right spot yet, but we'll work on that in a second. So you've got a front view and a top view of the coupling, a front view of the retaining clip and a top view. The last thing to do is to put in the pins over here. So same procedure, click on base view, change the scale so they're all the same. That's one rule you must follow, that the scales must be the same. Place the view, click OK, and then turn off the things you don't want. So we don't want the coupling, we don't want the retaining clip, and I want one of the pins to remain. There it is there. Okay, let's minimize that because we won't need that anymore just by clicking on the sheet. And let's project a top view above this. So click onto the view, project, above it is the top view, and then click escape. All right, so we've now got our 3 separate parts, and we've got enough views to be able to make the part. They're not correctly positioned on the actual drawing sheet yet, but it's enough to get us started. So just get that much done, and then I'll show you how to do center lines and dimensioning in the next tutorial.